Set like a jeweled crown on the map of India, Kashmir is a many-faceted diamond, changing its character with the seasons, always abundantly beautiful. It is an awesome grandeur, serenity, a wild profusion of color. These colors of Kashmir can be vividly described by its shawls. Shawls have always been a characteristic of Kashmir and are an integral part of its identity and beauty. People from all over the world covet possession of a Kashmiri shawl. The term shawl is derived from Persian word shal, meaning a garment to be wrapped around a person. Shawls had been a fashion statement amongst women since time immemorial. They are basically designed to impart a feeling of warmth, to complement a costume, and for symbolic reasons. Every shawl that is produced is a work of art, full of vivid colors and exquisite design and fabric. Three brains combine to produce this work of art. First comes the designer who conceives the beauty. Next, the copier who prepares the pattern for use in the workshop. And last of all, the weaver through whose hands the beauty takes material shape. Of these, the second is regarded as the most skilled. The weaver actually possesses no copy of the design except the notation. The manuscript of a melody lies in front of him, and from this he weaves the pattern that we see. A Kashmiri loom is really a little orchestra, and each shawl a symphony of colors, the men as they work chanting the stitches in monotonous plain song. Kashmir shawl is characterized by elaboration of its design, in which the cone pattern is a prominent feature, and by the glowing harmony, brilliance, depth, and enduring qualities of its colors. The basics of these excellences is found in a very fine, soft, short, flossy underwool called pashm or pashmina, found on the shawl goat, a variety of Capra hircus inhabiting the elevated regions of Tibet. There are several varieties of pashm, but the finest is a strict monopoly of the people of Kashmir. Inferior pashm or kirman wool, a fine, soft Persian sheep's wool, are used for shawl weaving at Amritsar and other places in Punjab where colonies of Kashmiri weavers are established. Of shawls, apart from shape and pattern, there are only two principal classes. One, loom-woven shawls called tillawala, tillikar or kanikar, sometimes woven in one piece, but more often in small segments which are sewn together with such precision that the sewing is quite imperceptible. And number two are the embroidered shawls, amlikar, in which over a ground of plain pashmina is worked by needle a minute and elaborate pattern. A laborious process and toil of many laborers brings forward the much desired product, an exquisite Kashmiri shawl. Let us now see glimpses of how a Kani shawl is made. Kashmir, with its dazzling beauty, is a marvel in itself. Kashmir has captured within its territories the essence of all the elements that poetry demands of nature. Full of eye-capturing scenes everywhere, it's a place where one wants to be. But its beauty is not its only worth, as nature bestows it with other qualities. It has the distinction of having been favored with a climate and altitude highly favorable for mulberry culture, as such suited for the development of sericulture. This beautiful valley was always suitable for the growth of mulberry food for silkworm. Silk industry, though known to have been discovered in China, is one of the oldest known industries in Kashmir. The knowledge of sericulture in the Jammu and Kashmir state dates back to ancient time, which is evident from the references available in the magnificent works of a number of travelers who visited this state in the past. The process of making silk has not changed very much in the thousands of years since the silkworm's thread was first used in China. Since mankind discovered the wonders of silkworm's floss, it has been used for the costliest of garments. Silk is undisputedly the most beautiful of all natural fibers with its unearthly sheen. It is also uncommonly strong, even at its finest, when it is almost invisible. It is unlike any other fiber used to make fabrics, for it is neither grown in a field or on an animal. It is not even manufactured in a factory. A humble caterpillar, about the size of a woman's smallest finger, produces the silk fiber, spinning it out of its mouth using tiny forelegs to place where the silk should go. From the mouth of this caterpillar to the most beautiful fabric on the earth, the story of silk is rather interesting. Once hatched, the caterpillar feeds continuously for many days on mulberry leaves, its only preferred food. When fully grown to a length of 5 to 7 centimeters, it turns out to be an amazing worker. In only a few days, it spins a cocoon from which can be removed a silk thread up to 600 meters in length. After this, the cocoons are unraveled. Here, the cocoons are in a pot of hot water, which both kills the worms and loosens the filaments and lets the cocoons float freely. The filaments from several cocoons are reeled off together to make a strong thread. This yarn is drawn under tension through several guides and wound onto reels in a process called reeling. Finally, the yarn is dyed and now raw silk is packed according to quality and spun into fabrics of ecstasy. It is still a hands-on process involving live creatures and takes a lot of time, but the result is certainly worth all the work and certainly gives one a truer understanding of why silk has been so desirable and so expensive throughout history. Kashmir is India's third largest producer of silk and is known for the quality raw silk it produces.